Okay, first you're going to see on my desktop, I've got the dark mockup open and the light mockup open. First we're going to start with the light mockup. Let me zoom that in a little bit for us blind people. To bring an image in, the easiest way is to go to File, Import, and just for the sake, let's go ahead and open the autism ball. That's how I have it saved on my computer. When you open it, it opens right in, but you'll notice it is way too big for the actual mock-up. So if you hold Control, which you can't see that on the screen, and grab an arrow, you're going to make it, you want it big enough that it goes under the leaves a little, but not so big that it takes up the whole screen. You wouldn't want half of it hidden under the leaf. So we're going to make it a little bit smaller. Again, that may be dependent on the image. And you have to decide, does it look better on this light mock-up, or opening the dark mock-up, does it look better on the dark mock-up? We can import it here also, just to see which one looks better if you want. I kind of think it looks better on the dark, but again, that's dependent on what you want. To me, the texture kind of shows through really good on the dark. See here, you can see the texture through the pieces. But either mock-up you decide, it's going to be the same as far as your layers are concerned, whether or not you want to use a dark or a light. Of course, I find myself pointing at the screen like you can see what I'm doing, and you can't. Okay, so I want to talk about the layers on this and just some of the Inkscape basics. Basics, if you didn't already know, zoom out, you have to go over to a part of the screen that's white here. Right mouse click zooms out. Left mouse click zooms in. Or you can make that full screen if you want. I prefer not to do that. I like mine just about the size of the screen. You can also go up here and zoom in and zoom out. And you can do it 1 to 2 or 2 to 1, or select a full screen. If you want to do that, you can do that. But let's just talk about our layers here. First of all, you'll notice on this dark mock-up, here, let's bring our layers down. You got to kind of hover it just at the right spot so you can see all your layers. Excuse me. Over here, as you can see on your dark layers, see your little eye open? That's going to be open on different layers on your dark than your light. And I'll show these side by side in a minute so you can see them. As you can see, your light's going to be closed because this is the dark background. The background dark will be open. The background overlay dark will be open. Anything that says light is going to be closed. Right now the design is open because I'm manipulating that design. If you don't want to manipulate the design, you can close that and then you won't see the design. Dark, as you can see, is open. Both is going to be open on both your light and your dark. And again, you can see dark will be open. Again, you can see lights closed, lights closed, lights closed, because this is the dark background. Now, on your light mock-up, let me zoom that, can't see it. On your light background, let's pull our layers down a little bit here. You'll see everything that says light will be open. Light is open. Light is open. Both is always open. And light is open. Now, when I said texture earlier, I wanted you to see this texture. Notice your opacity is only 43%. You can change that, and you can make it darker to light. But the 43% is what is set on this particular mock-up. You can go back to the 43. But if you want to manipulate your design, you can see it selected and this is open. And you can move your design around. If you close, then you cannot manipulate your design. Now, As far as the mock-ups are concerned, um, like Cole said, you have to decide on whether or not you like the dark or the light. I kind of like the dark better because to me, the puzzle pieces show up. If you go to your texture on your dark, you're going to see it's at 100%. You can change that if the texture's showing in a little bit too much for your design. But you want the texture to show up enough so that somebody can't take this design and trace it out and make it their own and copyright the image that's yours. As far as the mock-ups are concerned, you're not going to really be manipulating any of these other options here. The basic options, you're not really going to be messing with any of those. Really what you're going to be doing is manipulating your design size and changing your percentages and whatever. When you open these up, all these are already defaulted. On your texture, you'll notice it says multiply. That's already defaulted. When Cole makes these mock-ups, she has it defaulted how she likes them to look and what looks best with her designs. That may be something if you do your own layers that are different, but this is what works for her designs and what makes them look the best, while also protecting the copyright on the images. That's one reason why you want this to overlap. And when you're doing a mock-up, this one specifically, you want to center this. So what I do is I select all, and I do that by going over here to where it says overlay. I close my design, and I want, whoops, hello, my design went bye-bye, didn't it? And I unlock the ones that are open. You can't edit them if they're locked. So you unlock all the ones that are open right here. And then if you draw your box around everything is highlighted. The overlay back here and your design. Then you can go over here to Object, Align and Distribute. And you want to center horizontally and center vertically. As you can see, when you center vertically, it does overlap some on the top and some on the bottom. And I just kind of like to change that, if it doesn't look exactly right. But anyway, you have your image done. Now, how do you save it? Well, that's when you go to your Export PNG. Be sure your page is selected. Sometimes the drawing will be selected, but you want your page to be selected. Go to your width and select 1000. Hit enter. None of the rest of these matter on your default. Go to your export as. Decide on what you want to save it. Because it's going to automatically want to save it dark mockup or whatever you save your dark mockup as. And you don't want it to do that. If you save this as dark mockup SVG, it will replace your original image. So you want to backspace that out and name it whatever you want to name it. I'm just going to name it Autism Tester PNG so I can go back and delete that later. You click Save. I always highlight Close when complete and then hit Export. Give it a minute to do its thing. Then that's when you go to Orphan View. Open it up. Open your image. Let me find my tester here because I obviously saved it somewhere I wasn't paying attention, right? It would be under F. And let me find it. Hopefully we can find it. Let's see. It's probably going to be under Smoke Files. And let's go to, whoops, wrong button. Let me find my file here. Go to my aids. Autism Tester. We open it. There's our image. We hit Save As. You don't have to do anything to it. And here I just go ahead and change the name to JPG. So when I look at it, I can automatically tell if it's a PNG or a JPG and click save. It does everything for you. You can close that, and then that would be the image that you upload into your program.